Hey, Farva, what's the name of that restaurant you like with all the goofy shit on the walls and the mozzarella sticks?
Welcome to the Cam Shenanigans podcast.
You mean Shenanigans? Oh! You're talking about Shenanigans, right?
Where Mike, Trent, and Zach, and a guest will debate all things automotive.
Our shenanigans are cheeky and fun.
Yeah, I mean, his shenanigans are cruel and tragic.
Make sure to check out Cam Automag on all the social medias at Cam Automag. And don't forget to support our sponsor, Hustle Energy.
Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to the Cam Shenanigans podcast, a rudderless ship adrift in the sea of automotive podcasts. Thank God you found us. We were lost without you.
I'm still lost.
It's
Facebook user, let's go!
Shout out to you, Facebook user.
That's me, actually.
Shout out to you, Gavin, our guest and Facebook user. Don't know what we'd do without you.
I'm still lost, so I don't know.
That's okay. So are we. Yeah, it's me, Mike, dear leader, Doc Taste, leader of men, herder of cats, guy who spent way too much time, if you're watching this, rearranging his office so it didn't look like you're just staring at a guy renting a house.
Hey.
Had to put up a lot of artwork on the walls. There it is. And a guy clearly renting a house, but looking stylish with the beanie. It is the one, the only, the former Lord of the Boards, Zach Lords.
Bam.
With the dab. And then, as we mentioned before, Facebook user, small car owner, creator of amazing content, locally known as the Southern Dandy. It is Gavin Bouquet.
Thank you, Mike. You're too kind. I mean, as of tonight, I am wearer of sweatpants and drinker of Jameson. So
There you go. There it is.
That's one way of doing it.
Yeah, I am wearing a pair of shorts that I had to liberate from the ex-girlfriend's place. So, you know, I'm very happy. I have more gym shorts with pockets in them.
That's the way to do it.
hell yeah.
It's fucking big time. Andrew, Trent is off doing Trent things. I don't know. He just said it was going to be hard for him to show up.
He's
for a
off.
while.
Is he hustling the day? Is he hustling
yes.
the day?
Hustling the day, hustling the night. On that
Oh, should I pour myself a glass of Hustle Energy right now?
Yeah, pop some Jameson in there too.
Pop some Jameson there. That's what Hustle would want.
Yeah, just
bet.
16 ounces of Jameson, a scoop of Hustle, and then we'll call poison control for you in about 5 minutes.
Cool. Bet.
There we go. But so we were talking about many things in the pre-roll that you will never hear. But one thing that did pop up was Gavin said he wanted to start a spec pit bike series with people who buy those like $200 Coleman bike things that dirt every day. They did a fun video with those. But Gavin, so I was talking to my buddy Cole Phillips. He does a lot of bike racing out at UMC, like the Masters of the Mountains and all that stuff.
Cool.
Yeah. He and some of the higher ups, they have been talking about, because everybody has those dumb little pit bikes. There is a serious option for like a pit bike series.
No. Like for like badass, like on track?
Like it would be on the kart track, but yeah.
Oh, for a second, I had this vision of coming up and over attitudes with a sea of like 50 pit bikes, but still pit bikes on the kart track. Like that sounds like a hilarious time.
Yeah,
like,
that would be amazing.
I'm actually down.
Yeah, so there we go. Cole,
Sorry.
Welcome. We definitely that needs to happen. So.
It's funny. I started a group chat with some friends of mine after we went karting at the grid down in where is it, Orem, Provo, wherever the fuck in Utah County, and we at the lunch that we took after our karting session, because we came back up to Garage Grill, we were just kind of shooting the shit. We're like, We should do pit bikes because you can get them brand new for like $200 at Walmart. You know, it's not like the special race car or race bike thing or something you have to get a special license for. You just go and buy it, and it's $200. So
Yeah.
So
go ahead.
So I had two things. One super short. We did a very similar thing where we bought knockoff Groms. Me and 3 other buddies. Andrew's actually watching, and he has one as well. And
I kind of want a Grom.
dude, the knockoff Groms are cool. They're a little bit faster. They're torquier, and they're half the price. And they have a warranty. And so we'll go
Who
like
makes
a rider. A company called Pitster. Actually, they supply the mini bikes to UMC. So if you go to the mini bike racing at UMC, it's the same bikes.
Nice.
Gotcha.
But our friends will go right around like Sugar House Park at like 10 at night, all grouped together, like leaning in and out of the corners. We're doing like 15, 20 miles an hour, but we feel like fucking, was it Mezzi? What's his name? Who's the biker that everyone likes?
Damn it. I can't think of his name right now. It's going to come to me later.
Yeah, but we're all like a foot apart from each other, all leaning in the corners. We're scraping pegs, but we're doing like 15. It's great.
Nice.
The other
I
one
love
is
that.
you mentioned go-karting, and this will come back later, but there's a guy at my work named Ron. And I started a new job. They sent out this company newsletter being like, hey, this is Zach. This is a new IT guy. He likes cars, cameras, and camping. Ron, a 50 to 60-year-old engineer, overweight, wears Hawaiian shirts, bursts into my office 5 minutes after the letter goes out. Oh, I heard you like cars.
Oh, Ron.
And
Hi.
maybe I'll just
Thank
tell
you,
that story
Ron.
because that person, it's hilarious. And he just sits there, he just starts talking and talking. He's like, I only like Pontiacs from. He's like, you're not one of those racers, are you? And I'm like, I like Japanese cars, but I'm pretty indifferent on most brands. I like
By
most
his
cars.
definition, you are a racer.
Oh,
By his
100%.
definition.
100%,
Yeah.
yeah.
He was getting ready to whoop your ass with one of his New Balances.
If he
And
wears
Oakleys.
New Balances, I will send you a photo.
New
and then
Balances and Oakleys.
And I'm like, well, what kind of cars are you into, Ron? Oh, I only like 61 to 73 Pontiacs. But I just bought a new G8. I can't keep the wheels. I can't keep traction on those rear wheels. It's too fast for me. So that whole story keeps going on and on and on, and it ended up being a 45-minute long conversation about literally nothing. And it actually ended with him being like, oh, I used to work on a lot of like high-end sports cars, like a Viper and Maserati and Porsches, blah blah blah. And he was like, oh, those exotics are really expensive. I had a buddy who had a what was it, a 328, or it might have been a 512. No. He called it a 328 TR. And I'm like, was it a 512 TR or a 328? Or what was like the wedge Ferrari from Cannonball Run?
There's a Testarossa and the 512 TR. Yeah.
No, but what's the Ferrari from the Cannonball Run? The wedge
Ferrari
one.
from Cannonball?
Yeah, that the priests drove.
My Cannonball Run knowledge is actually not that extensive.
Oh, it's one of like the wedge ones, but he called it that name by the TR, and I'm like, is it a 512 TR or was it that one? And he goes, well, I don't remember, but it was really pretty.
Sure, it was.
So,
But he turns to me
I
and
don't
he
doubt
goes-
that.
He turns to me and he goes, well, we got a company-wide. I'm dying. we have a company-wide go-karting championship. And I'm like, hold on, Ron. Now I'm invested. And he's like, well, I'll talk to some guys and I'll let you know. The next day.
it was a 308 GTS.
Yeah, it was a 308,
Gotcha.
or he called it a 308 TR. Is what he's like. I saw one of those 308 TRs. And I was like, okay, Ron, whatever you say, Ron. I was like, I'll talk to some of the guys, but I'm pretty sure we can get you on the team. Literally the next day at like 10 a.m. Like it's been like not even like 24 hours have elapsed since then. He goes, hey Zach, what's going on? I just talked to Jeremy and Clyde and Mike and Johnson and Larry, and they all really want you on the team. Like we're really rooting for you. We think we can get you on the heavyweight class right away. Like you think you'll be a good addition to the team. I just need to go talk to the Kyle and Smith down in HR, but we can get you on the team.
Oh, Ron. Thank you,
like,
buddy.
You talked
Thank
to
you,
half
Ron.
the fucking company, in like 4 hours worth of work, dude. Like, did you work during that time? Or were you just excited about getting me go-karting? Because, like, I'm stoked, but, like...
I mean, it looks like you have to throw some hands now. Like, you gotta, like, throw down.
Yeah.
Apparently. I've been talking to Brandon McConkey about going and getting some practice laps with him in. And I want to show up and just, like... I'm a larger guy than most people on the team, but they're all, like, 80 years old. So I think I should be...
Oh, no, you got this.
Yeah.
You totally
you're
got
good.
this, yeah.
You're good.
Yeah, no, you're fine. Just keep your foot in it. You'll be fine.
Sorry, that was my long story, but I want to have a regular segment about Ron, because I talked to Ron about one today, and it's to the point where I think I should make a Twitter account for just Ron things.
Shit Ron says.
Shit
Ron
says.
talks.
Ron talks.
Welcome to my Ron talk.
The other one, sorry, he just had me on this time. The other one he told me was, he was like, yeah, I just don't like Road Track magazine. It's just aimed for people who have money. Like, I just can't imagine buying those cars out of this magazine. I only read Hot Rod magazine.
There it is. There it is.
You mean like the hot rod bills that also cost like 150 grand? Okay.
Exactly. That's what I thought.
Man, by the way, Zach, Glenn has your back. Yeah, that Facebook user, that is Glenn. So,
Hi, Glenn.
hi, Glenn.
Maybe we'll have to start a. Maybe I'll come to the Cam audience with, here are the players to take your bets on where they're going to place.
This is a tournament of champions. Just.
My money's on Zach Lords.
Yep.
Okay.
All the money on.
I did work at K1 go-karting for like 9 months till I got fired for something irrelevant.
Well, that's all right.
Well,
Happens
I
to
mean,
the best of us.
I'm interested now.
I don't even remember what it was. No, they wouldn't let me take a shit on shift. I had to take a shit, and they said, that's too bad. I'm like, well, I got an upset stomach. They will have to bring me a doctor's note if you have an upset stomach. And I'm like, cool, I fucking quit. Bye, guys.
Wow. Wow.
I actually worked there with Clarence's son. Of all
Gotcha.
people, yeah.
Yeah.
Sorry, I could keep telling stories. I don't know if someone has a topic they want to push in or something.
Well, me and Gavin, we were talking, and what came up, we were talking on Instagram, and what came up was our fateful April 2017 trip down to Vegas. Yep.
Yes.
Me, Gavin,
Yes.
the GTI, meeting up with high school buddy and now friend of the program, Alex Crane,
But driving back in a fucking snowstorm,
and a fucking
like
blizzard.
in Beaver, Utah.
Jesus, just all the way up. It was bad news.
I do miss that 302 though. I do miss the Laguna Seca.
That was a solid car.
It's funny because I had to go. So a friend of mine just yesterday, actually, they wanted me to send him a link to our. It was Parker with the GTR.
Oh, all right.
And he was like, "Hey man, do you have the link for that video that we did like a few years ago?" I'm like, "Yeah, here you go." And I saw the Boss 302 video in the same playlist. I'm like, "Oh, yikes!" Because like I just remember being so cringy as a host on it, and I'm just like, "Oh no!"
Oh yeah. But
I
man,
put my
Oh,
name on
names.
that.
oh, we put our name, man. I've put my name on a lot of terrible things. Don't worry, it doesn't get any easier.
Is my name on the? Is that a Supra?
I don't know.
I'm gonna look it up.
I mean, you're
Probably.
fucking in it.
But
So-
I mean, like, it's not just putting your actual name on something. It's, having yourself associated to a level
Yeah.
of work.
You're
Where I'm
not
just like,
tied to
oh god, I really hope nobody else sees this.
it. Oh god,
Yeah.
my name is the first one. Zach asked the questions you've all been wondering since our first gallery went up. Mike and Kristen do their best to answer him.
Oh man, that was fucking oof. But yeah, no. So we got to reminiscing about the trip, and man, whew.
I mean, okay, so it started off with you picking me up at the house that I was living at in Taylorsville, which is
Yep.
now that I don't live there anymore, I can totally dox it. Ba-
Yeah, please
basically-
do.
basically 1300 west and 4100 south. So it's
I'm gonna go agate.
I'll just paint a picture for those listening at home. It's this quiet kind of middle class neighborhood. It's across the street from a golf course, so like that's nice. But like north of it is trailer parks, and south of it is like crack house, hotel, motel, apartments, whatever. And then to the west of it is Redwood, which is like not a really nice part of Redwood. So it was this like oasis of being okay, I guess, of an oasis of okayness, surrounded by economic and social depression. It was bad.
Oh,
and
man.
so Mike picked me up there. I lived there for a couple of years, but Mike picked me up there. We drove down to Vegas that night, and we checked into the
Wait for
Hooters
it.
Hotel.
Hooters Hotel and Casino. Stayed on the first floor, which was just
The first
a
floor
very
that was
short,
above the casino.
Yeah, a short
the whole-
elevator ride.
Yeah, and the whole place reeked of the ganja.
Oh yes.
But that's not the worst part. That's not even the worst part. We like walk into the room, we notice in two very distinct locations that somebody had taken a hot iron, like a clothing iron, to the fucking carpet.
Mm-hmm.
Just a big on the floor in two different places. It's not like somebody dropped the iron and left it and then picked it back up again.
No, it was
Like,
somebody like did it with intention.
Yeah, like what the fuck is this? And so I kind of forget what happened immediately after that. I do remember like being on a phone call on the roof.
Oh yeah, because our sliding door opened immediately to like the roof, which was at like chest level, but you could get out there and climb up on it.
I took some selfies on that. I thought like the lighting up there was actually kind of cool.
Yeah, because I don't trust the upkeep of the Hooters Hotel and Casino, elected to not get my fat ass up there.
That's fair. That's understandable.
Yeah. Oh man, but also the door didn't close quite right, so we had to have like the deadbolt and a little like other lock on there. I remember that.
Like a chain?
Yeah, like the chain on there too, because like the door didn't like it didn't want to stay.
I don't remember that.
I remember it did not want to stay shut. Like it would look like it was closed, but like you could just pull it open without turning the knob.
Oh yikes!
Yeah, so yeah, it wasn't great. So, man. Also, ours was the first room. Like you would get off the elevator, go right around, and it was right there. So we were right next to the elevator.
Which, being on the first floor next to an elevator in a hotel and casino in Las Vegas.
Yeah, not ideal.
No.
Yeah, no. Just a lot of no. But no, we were down there to shoot Alex Crane's Boss Laguna Seca 302. That thing was sweet.
Yeah, I do wish that we drove it on a road that was a little more technical, because of most of the driving that we did. We filmed at Mount Charleston, which is like 45-ish minutes west of Vegas.
Is that over by like Lake Vegas?
I think it's out that general direction.
It's kind of like southeast.
It's west of Vegas.
Yeah.
But
yeah,
but most of the driving we did was like on the lower section of the road that we chose that happened to be longer and straighter. There was a clip that I recorded and posted on my social medias. I don't think we did it on cams, where I did the first through fifth gear pull.
Yeah, I don't think. Yeah, we did not didn't give that one the play that we should have. In hindsight,
I mean, I was okay with just posting it on mine because it was. I didn't. We don't want eyes on that video clip that don't have our best interest at heart.
Yes,
yeah,
exactly.
I'm imagining top of fifth gear is a little bit over 60.
A little, yeah. Just a
hair.
Just a hair.
Just a smidge.
A whisper.
But yeah, I mean, I wish I was able to A, drive that car on a more technical road, and B, drive it in, well, as a person who's a more mature and who's able to kind of focus in on specific elements of how a car drives. I wish I could kind of have another go in one just to see, because like since then I had driven the that GT350. I had driven a bunch of other rear wheel drive cars. I've actually learned, like, anecdotally and through experience, what actual good steering feel is, and how the weight, changes front to back and side to side with the car through corners. I don't know. I feel like I feel like I could do solid justice to that car again.
Well, I think, I feel that one might have passed. But hey, man, he's got Brandon McConkey's Corvette, so there's that. I also would like to at some point have a go in some sort of A90 or A91 Supra. That sure would be a lot of fun. Brandon.
I've been bugging Brandon for months now about the Supra, and I need to put wheels on it. Wheels arrive. I'm waiting for coilovers. Coilovers arrive. I'm waiting on a detail. Detail happens. I'm tuning it now. Dude, come on.
I mean, how much power is that thing making now? Because like he did a dyno day recently-ish.
Last I saw was he was supposed to post direct numbers, because I remember his first day, it got loose on the dyno and didn't put down correct numbers, or their settings were wrong or something. So he was like, I'm going to go back and run proper numbers. And then I never saw a follow-up post. But when I wrote it last, it was before his most recent tune. It was his Vegas tune. Dude, that thing was fucking fast. Like I was in a Viper with him, or I was in a Viper when we saw him, and I got out of the Viper and rode with him. I'm like, this thing feels faster than the Viper. Like it fucking boogies.
damn.
Well, I mean, it's a turbo and an automatic gearbox in a smaller package.
Yeah.
So like, with that turbo shove and that automatic being as quick as it is, and also the footprint of the car being a lot smaller than a really long nosed Viper, I could see that being given that sensation of speed.
My the way I interpreted it was that he's been really building that car for drag racing, for hooking up and stuff, which it does really, really well. I felt like if the Viper...
that's strange. That's strange to me. You took a car that is a front-engined inline six automatic sports car that's rear-wheel drive, and you decided to make it do straight line shit. I find that to be really interesting.
I don't think he's the stuff he had at the time was for straight line stuff. He had Mickey Thompson's on it, or no? I think he just switched off his Mickey Thompson. I can't remember what it was. This was a while ago. But
it's just interesting the idea that someone would buy Mickey Thompson's for a fucking Supra.
Oh yeah, no, he did. Yeah,
because that car is like really tail happy in the corners, just like out of the box. Yeah. It's like really lively.
But the impression I remember walking away with was 0 to 100. The Supra would get it. But if we did like a 60, like a 60 to 120, the Viper has the more superior gearing and the torque to get out there and do it.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know what Viper you were in, but I mean that's making
2008, 2009. It's 8.4.
So is that making 600, or that's like 500 or 550?
I believe it was 600, and it had a tune, intake and exhausts. 650s maybe. It was titled at one point. I would never saw dyno sheets.
Look, that's another car I want to have a go into. I mean, I'm gonna sound greedy, but like, did you drive the Viper?
Oh, I put probably 1,200 miles on the Viper during the friendship with the owner of the vehicle. It is that car was not set very well. It had some alignment and some suspension issues where.
It's also a Viper.
It is a Viper. Yeah. It never happened to me, but I was horrified of a bump oversteer situation. The tail just felt loose always. Not loose as in like sliding. Just like the suspension just felt loose.
Gotcha.
Like to take any corner on the highway, it was on torque. You had to keep the car moving. The other thing about that Viper too was peak torque is at like 5,200 RPMs.
Ooh.
That's high.
It's really high. Like you can drive that car between 1 and 3,000 RPMs, and it feels like every other car. There's not much there, but it feels like the car has some sort of like variable valve timing or VTEC, where like you crack over $4,000, and it's a different car. It's a different animal, and the way that the torque builds, it wants you to keep pushing and keep driving, which is I feel like why people crash them so often is because like the steering on that generation was actually pretty precise, and the car, like you just feel so good pushing it to the correct shift points. That car is tail happy for sure. It makes 600 horsepower, whatever, on 305s, and it spins them into third.
Jesus.
Nothing makes you shit yourself than like missing a third gear downshift and it breaking loose on you. Like that's some sketchy shit. But,
I mean, I would like to. I had an idea for a video a while ago that included the Rawson Q1 and pick a generation of Viper. It doesn't really matter because the Rawson kind of is a mid-engined Viper in ethos, not necessarily in practice, but in ethos, because it's that car out of the box was 500 horsepower. From a twin turbo V6 that was rear wheel drive. It weighed like 2,500 pounds soaking wet with a 6-speed and 0 safety assist of any kind.
Yeah. The Viper's a little on the other end. The Viper is a heavy bitch. It's I think they're like 3,600 pounds. Like
but the Viper is kind of the metric that everyone uses for like that's kind of the yardstick for like, does this thing want to kill you like a Viper does? You know, that's
the Viper definitely was it. And also I won't say the number on the podcast. I don't want to get arrested, but the Viper is what I hit my top speed in. It was not the number I was shooting for. I didn't have the balls to hit the number I wanted, but yeah, you know, the Viper wants to kill you. Like
what number did you want to hit?
I was going for 200.
Wow.
Okay.
All right.
Good God.
I didn't have the balls for it. I fell short a little bit. But where was I going with that? I did a canyon run in it, not aggressive canyon run, but I went up Big Cottonwood, then did Guardsman's, and then down Midway, then back into Park City.
Fuck off! You went down to Midway in that thing?
No, the Midway part was.
Were you in first gear? Were you in first gear the entire time?
Yes. I also had some story. I had a
For legal reasons,
group.
yes.
I had a cappuccino in my group. Okay, like I was by far the most superior, powerful car in the group.
No, that's not what I'm saying. That's not what I'm saying. That road that goes from Guardsman's down to Midway is fucking steep and narrow and very, very tight. That is the wrong road to take a Viper on.
No, you know, I totally agree. I took an E60 M5 manual down that road, being like, "Oh, this is gonna be fun, tight corners." I'm like, "Oh no, it was a bad idea."
That's a road for like a Miata or an FRS or a Fiesta ST or GTI.
Then we went from Park City into Heber and then back through I-80. And I told a story, which I'll just give the quick parts of it, was we got stuck in stop-and-go traffic in the Viper on an uphill, and the Viper gets really, really fucking hot in the inside, and the AC doesn't work below 2,000 RPMs, and the clutch is about as heavy as a semi-truck, and I wanted to fucking die.
So you're probably echoing some similar sentiments that Mike has from Trent's Viper.
When I told the story the first time, Trent and Mike proceeded to yell at me and told me I was a little bitch for about 20 minutes.
I mean, you kind of were being a little bitch.
Dude, it fucking sucked. It was like 15 miles of stop-and-go traffic. Like, my calf probably doubled in size after that.
Yeah, you know what else really sucks in a Viper? Stop-and-go traffic from Barstow to the state fucking line.
Yeah, fuck that shit.
That sounds like a country song or something, like a folk song.
Yeah. Brandon McConkey's in the chat.
Hey, what's up? We were talking about you.
Yeah.
When
He
we're
heard
gonna
we were
fucking
talking
get
shit.
photos of your fucking car, and when we're gonna go fucking go karting.
He heard we were talking shit.
Oh yeah.
Yep. So no offense, but while you guys have been talking, I finished Lego Voltron.
I'm proud of you, Mike.
Thank you.
Hold on. There we go.
Look at it in all of its fucking glory. He will sit there.
Oh.
Yep.
Well, would you guys mind if I introduce the topic?
Let me. I want to run over if there's anything else me and Gavin want to talk about from our trip. We saw the Wienermobile.
We did see the Wienermobile. That was way back, wasn't
Yes. Yeah, we saw the Wienermobile because that shit was fucking awesome.
We saw some. What did we see? We saw like a GT3 RS and a 488 and like a Polaris slingshot up in the canyons.
Yeah, just some people out there having fun. I had to kind of bail on you guys because the GTI was damn near out of gas.
There was something that happened because of my fault that I can't remember if it was it out of gas. No, heat soak. That's what it was.
Heat soaked the shit out of the intercooler, so the car barely ran.
Granted, we were also at altitude.
That is very true. But there was like 2 feet of snow on the ground too, which was weird. That's one of those things where it's like, I don't understand how a car can overheat in such cold conditions.
You also hated that car, so you're welcome. Also, it didn't snow until we were on our way back.
This is true. And we almost, some dude was towing a fucking schooner.
That shit was wild, dude. That was insane.
Yeah. Oh, that was nuts. Yeah, gnarly snowstorm. Dude had dick for trailer lights, so we almost assholed a fucking schooner on I-15.
But that was like when we came up and over the hill and we were on the downhill.
Yeah,
downhill in a front-wheel drive car that did not have snow tires.
I put the all seasons on the front.
Which is funny because it's funny because I bought Blizzax for my Fiesta because I was thinking it's like a really peaky turbo, front wheel drive. So my first front wheel drive daily that I've ever run myself, and yada yada yada. I'll get Blizzax for it, and then it proceeds to not snow.
Yeah, it'll do that whenever you're prepared.
And then I threw the Integrales, the 1552s on there that have just the original tires on, and then it snows.
Yeah, of course,
motherfucker.
That's how it goes.
Yeah, with my living and working situation, it's been fine. I haven't run into any problems yet, so
that's good.
Knock on wood.
There it is. All right. Well, Zach, I think that's it.
Yeah.
So
I had a topic that I thought was a very humorous the way it came up, and I'll give a brief rundown of that. So I'm talking to a girl on the phone. Yes.
What kind of girl?
She has 2 legs.
Sick. Does she know how to use them?
I hope so.
ZZ Top? Nobody? Okay.
Thank you. Fine. Thank you, Billy Beard.
I had to inform her that I'm into cars because it is, I fucking do this every fucking week. Of course I'm into cars, and I can't hide
part of your
forever.
identity. Yeah.
Yeah. And so we were talking about it, and she doesn't know that much about cars. She does drive a manual Camry, though, an 04 manual Camry, which is kind of cool. But that's beside the point. And she had asked me what my dream car is. And that was a hard question to answer to begin with, because I don't think any person has the one pinnacle dream car. Unless you're 12 and you have Lamborghini posters in your room, okay, maybe. But most people who are into cars, okay, I want a car for if I'm going on the track, this is my dream car. If I'm off-roading, this is my dream car. If I'm looking for a daily, this is my dream car. If I'm going to go to shows, this is my dream car. And so I kind of gave a cop-out answer. I said the LFA and the Carrera GT are my top 2. And then she asked, why are they your dream car? And that was a much harder question to answer than I had anticipated. Why would I what makes those cool to me? And like, so I had to think about it and actually like give a good response. And I'll come back to what I said because I gave it actually a pretty bitchy cop-out answer as well too. But so I want to pose to you guys, like, what are like, I don't know, let's pick two. Let's have the same situation. What are your two dream cars? And why? Like, and not just like, oh, because it has a V12, but no, like, why is that car good for you? Why do you think that car suits your needs and your driving style and your characteristics for what you look for in a car?
Do these have to be stock vehicles, or can they be modified or modified extensively?
I would say like light modifications are fine, but not like building a track monster.
Gotcha.
I would pose this like you're talking to a girl and you have to answer the question for yourself. Like, explain it in a way that you think they would understand.
Here's what I would do. I would start off with a 964 911 because well, first of all, that's the car that got me into cars as a whole. So that car actually changed my life. And this is what I would say to her. I would say that car is the reason why I am who I am today. As to why I know the people that I know. Well, when you're talking to women, Zach, you need to kind of, or not just women, but like, people that you're interested in, as it were.
Are you calling me gay? It's a girl. I can show you photos if you want proof of this shit.
I mean,
I'm good.
I'm
trying to not make it a sexist thing. I'm just saying if you're if you're
the person of interest in your life.
Person of interest, or even if they don't even have to be of interest. They can just be somebody new in your life, whether it's a friend, colleague.
Your mom asked you this question.
Friend, colleague, cohort,
well-wisher, associate,
possible future wifey,
future ex-wife.
Yes, exactly. No, but to go back to my point, I would say I would buy a 964 911. I would try to find a 1989 if possible, because that's just the year that that we had in my family, that my dad had. And I would kind of modernize that car a bit. I would have like the just better tires and better brakes, and kind of rejuvenate the suspension and kind of make it more modern again, as it were. And then I guess the second one I would want to buy would probably be like honestly, for practicality reasons and just because they're kind of quirky and cool, I'd buy Jetta Sport Wagon.
Okay.
I'd get a Mark 7 Sport Wagon, because it would be it'd be nice inside. You got loads of room, all-wheel drive, quote unquote all-wheel drive, not really. A nice automatic gearbox, great place to spend your time. Nothing wrong with a Mark 7 Sport Wagon.
Right. I dig that. I dig that a lot.
Yeah. So, I've got two that, I mean, one is a car that I've actually been kind of pining after for quite a while. The other is more of a recent thing, but it's one of those, it ticks all of the boxes, and I've really liked them since they came out. So I don't have a really problem with them. The first one is a Suzuka Blue AP2 S2000.
Hell yes.
Yes.
My guy. My king. Yeah. Yes.
Well, and I would do like the wild dickhead thing, because I'm fairly confident there was an S2000 version that had like a fucking yellow ass interior, and I would put that yellow.
Woof.
Yeah, I think you could. Yeah, I think you could. Yeah. Just so like kick it old school, like the old S2000 owners used to, just trade like full fucking interiors, like interior carpet and everything. Bitch. Yeah,
that's a fucking flex, dude. Jesus.
Yeah, but then I'd put some cool wheels on it, some coilovers, and then I would put a supercharger on it.
Yeah, because those engines can take it for sure.
No, yeah, no, there's like that's a very common upgrade.
Like 320 wheel, like 320 wheel would be beautiful in that car.
Oh yeah, like I'm not trying to. I mean, no disrespect to like the full race kits that you can get for that thing, but like they start off at like $6, and I'm not looking for that in that car. So, like
Right.
I'm trying to replace as few driveline components as possible.
It's crazy how those things have gone up in value, though.
I know. So
It does kind of blow my mind.
It's pretty insane. But so there is that, and then the other day I had to pick up my mom from her therapy and bring her back, and as we were driving south on 900 East, going north was a previous gen all black Panamera.
Oh, very nice.
And the thought in my head wasn't, that's a nice car. It was, hey, that's my car. And I just kind of stared at it as it drove by. Yeah. And then the other day I went over to the Harmons by my house and parked away from everybody. Except I ended up parking next to a dude. I parked next to a work truck that was running, so I figured the dude was about to leave. No, dude was having some sort of like fucking meltdown and was on the phone with somebody. So I just parked next to this dude, and I'm just like, and we make eye contact, and I could clearly tell he was going through something. I'm like, oh no. Oh no. That I skedaddled the hell out of there. But then, like, on the row across from us, a couple spots down, a new Panamera Sport Turismo e-hybrid in chalk.
Yeah. Yeah, I've seen that one around. I've seen that around.
Yeah, so I stopped and I took a couple pictures of it that I never bothered to post anywhere. But I'm just like, yeah, no, like a Panamera, any vintage, any engine, like I just need like a big, comfy, like 4-door thing that can just chew up the miles. Because I've done the road trip thing in the S2000.
Yeah,
you know, like
it's not fun.
Yeah, it's not great, especially when most of the trunk is taken up by a sub box. So that's a bit of a bummer.
It's funny you brought up the Panamera, and of course I hopped on Auto Tempest just to see what's up.
Of course.
And it's actually hilarious. There's two cars that are right next to each other in the listing.
Yeah.
One of them is 2013 Panamera Platinum Edition. I didn't know that Platinum Edition was a thing, but okay.
Well, listen.
It's for sale in Las Vegas as of 25 days ago with 73,000 miles.
Okay.
Selling for $29,000.
That's not terrible.
Yeah, that's not bad at all.
The next car in line,
yeah?
The next car in line is a 2018 Porsche Panamera e-hybrid Turbo S.
Damn.
126 grand.
Listen, man. I mean, they run the gamut, reasonable to ridiculous, just like every Porsche.
But the thing is, they actually drive even in like V6 trim, like their chassis and their platform. They drive really, really well.
Yeah.
So you can huck it through corners and like it'll fucking hang. It won't feel like a large vehicle at all.
Yeah, and that is exactly like at this point in my life. And I mean, like I would love to have like a Ferrari or a Lamborghini, some angular wedge-shaped penile replacement vehicle.
Sure,
but I mean, like, really, my desires are rather humble. Like, I just want that. I want that S2000 with that very nice, kind of understated blue. And then the very pornographic yellow interior.
Yellow interior.
Just, I mean, the looks you would getting out of that car. Just a lot of like, how much coke are you doing? Can I buy some?
How much coke are you doing? Yes.
Indeed.
Well, I want to modify my two answers slightly, or modify my answers slightly. Mine aren't quite as humble, and I think that's because I'm young and naive, and I want to dream big. But so, like, I'm going to stick with the LFA. The LFA has been top of my dream car list for a while now. It's, I think for like my driving styles and what I want to do, that will fit a lot of my, like, I could daily if I need to. I could go do track days. I could go do autocross with it. I could also do canyon drives. I could even do like somewhat reasonable road trips because it has an okay trunk. It's pretty comfortable on the inside. But I'm gonna stick with that. But the car I'm gonna add is I have been like pining for kind of like what Mike said, like this car that I can just go take and fit 4 people in and just go eat up highway miles. I can set cruise control at 100 miles an hour when I'm in the middle of the desert, not worry about it. Just like that. That's why I've been chasing this S500 for so long, because like to me that's what that is. The other car that's kind of up there is like a B8.5 S4, and I realistically see myself owning one of those maybe by the end of the year, maybe beginning of next year. But
those are solid. Those cars are solid. I quite like those.
But if money's no object, I would probably do RS7 actually. I really like the styling of them. I love the hatchback. It's the same thing where it's 4 doors, 4 seats, incredibly comfortable. It's going to be fast and quick. And honestly,
so Zach,
I would debadge it. But go ahead.
Zach, okay, so we're talking about Audis now. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
The last 6 months of 2020, I spent kind of in and around 5 different naturally aspirated 4.2 liter V8 Audis.
Yeah.
And I realized that I haven't been on Cam Shenanigans since we've done this. So this is actually a really good time for me to bring this up. So the 5 cars that were in question, going in chronological order, was the first generation D2 S8. That car that Justin, my co-host, was able to snag, that was the mintiest of mint D2 S8s I could have ever dreamt of. It was black on black, immaculate interior. It just had a brand new steering rack put in like earlier in the year. Trans, I think, was replaced as well. It shifted nice and it steered really well. The next car in question was a almost 300,000 mile C5 generation S6. So that is like the early, like 2003, 2000s. So
yeah, no, I saw your photos of you posted, so I'm familiar with the cars.
Well, thank you. I mean, and I'm kind of running through the gamut here for the people listening at home.
Yeah.
So, and that car also mechanically super fucking sound. Ben Lamberson actually is the owner of that car, who Mike would know from racing and from Audi stuff. And Ben's a great guy. Ben's a fucking champ.
Ben's great. Ben was the last person to work on the GTI before I sold it when we pulled out 2 Chinese knockoff coil packs, one of the old style OEM coil packs and one of the updated OEM coil packs.
Shit, that was back when he worked in Makes and Models, wasn't it?
No. So the story about the GTI is I bought it from Makes and Models, but for whatever reason, Ben wanted to do the pre-purchase inspection, like look it over before they sold it to me. Gotcha. And they wouldn't let him.
I could see that happening, actually.
Yeah. So they sold me no, this is when he was working at Wofford's or whatever it was on fucking 21st and like 3rd East or whatever it was.
That's Streamline.
No, that was Streamline. Yeah, Streamline.
Yeah,
it was when he's working at Streamline, and
funny.
The owner pointed out that the hood, bumper, and fender were different color than the rest of the car. Like it had a different flake in it.
Right.
Yeah, the driver door didn't fit. So that was. But no.
Ben is good people. Ben is good people, and he supplied the S6 wagon for us to drive. And then the next car after that was the B7 RS4, which was a time capsule because everything on that car was either original or OEM replacement.
Ooh.
But yeah, so the exhaust was stock. I mean, the clutch was possibly original. There's pretty high miles for the clutch, but like it was like everything was like minty mint on this car. And so that was one of the cars I got to review. And then we had the 4.2 V8 manual R8, which was great. But the car at the end of the film, before we kind of break out into a podcasty kind of discussion towards the end of the film, was the B8.5 RS5.
Ooh.
And let me tell you, Zach, I drove all the cars, and Justin drove all the cars as well. As far as duty spent or the duty that was split of on-camera driving, Justin drove the first two, I drove the second two, and then I drove the RS5 with Justin riding shotgun in the RS5, and that's kind of how we concluded the car review portion of our film. The thing is, that RS5, it didn't have a tune on it. It only had like a resonator delete on the exhaust. The DSG, like the tuning on that was all stock. It had Öhlins suspension, and it had some HRE wheels on it.
Okay.
That was really it. It was just the Öhlins, the HREs, and the resonator delete on the exhaust. Like for someone that doesn't like big cars, that is the perfect car. Every single time we had like 5 different shoots with that car, from changing locations to driving it out to the track to do our center table discussion thing, our round table discussion. Various shoots that I drove that to. Like the owner wasn't there for any of it. We were very lucky and very gracious to have had, such a gracious host of a car to be like, yeah, like fucking take it. Like I don't give a shit. Well, he and I both live in downtown, so the logistics also just kind of made sense.
Nice.
Yeah, we just meet up at South Temple and like he'd hand the car off.
Nice.
Excuse me. But
could
I
you
drove
cough
that car
any
like
louder and into the microphone harder, please?
Sorry, I got like my wireless headphones going on. Shout out to Greg Valdez. Thanks, buddy. But drove that car like 5 different times, and every single time that I drove it, I was cackling like a little child, just losing my shit over how great that car is. Because it's the 4.2 V8 went through various different generations, and the generation of 4.2 V8 that went into that RS5 actually shares more in its technology, and I think more so in the head design with the Gallardo engine than it does with the other motors.
Huh.
So it's 455 horsepower that revs to 8,300 RPM, mated with a 7-speed dual clutch. It's the fucking shit, and the exhaust was so gnarly. Like with a capital fucking G. It was so good. Even after driving the R8, that also had like a slight exhaust on it and had a manual gearbox, and I drove that on one of my personal favorite roads that I have a lot of personal connection with, Mike. It was the same road that we did the NSX with.
Oh, all right.
Yeah.
I'm familiar with that road.
Yeah. I loved that car, and I am so glad that I was able to check that off my bucket list as far as experiences. But I kept on thinking about the RS5 every time I drove it.
So I have some good seat time in a B8.5 S4 that has the full IE tree done to it. Trans-tune, ethanol, pulleys, throttle body, stage 3 or whatever they max out at. And
sure.
I know it does a different engine and different platform, but no, I totally get that. Like, it's a big car, but holy fuck, is it fun? Like being able to like the launch control in that car, and being able to like keep with Teslas, and then Tesla's like looking at you, being like, "What the fuck? It's a D-badge A4." And you're like, no, buddy.
It's get it in silver and make it look like one of the like Audi silver rental things.
Well, it's funny because the RS5 that we had was the special version of silver. It wasn't like exactly like it was silver, but like in really harsh direct light, it gave off like almost a pinkish vibe. Like a pink flake on top of silver. It was like a special color they could get through them. But yeah, I mean, the speeds that you could carry on some roads, you actually would not believe. Like,
Damn.
I mean, do I dare dox myself and get myself in trouble?
I wouldn't.
You wouldn't? Okay, never mind then. Gonna pull up on the joystick right now.
There it is.
Mike and I can talk off air about the dumb shit that I was able to get into, but you honestly would not believe, and it's still playful and kind of playful, but playful for, I guess, the real estate that it takes up on the road for the footprint. It's such a good car. Oh my god, I still think about it, and those can be had for like the mid-high 30s, and then set aside like another 5 to 10 grand for wheels and tires and suspension, and it's the perfect car.
Nice.
Yeah, but I guess I'll just do my closing statements on that. But yeah, no, the RS7 I think it would be kind of it would be that where it's like it's the top of the tech tree when it comes to big Audis, and it's an extension of what. So that would be my.
No, I completely understand. Back in 2017, I was asked to take photos and write up a classifieds ad for a guy that was selling a 2015 RS7, and that had the performance package on it. So it was the full 605 horsepower, and the amount of places I found myself doing 100 miles an hour shocked me. In that S4 I drove, I remember just what was on the road, and I just clicked on cruise control. I wasn't even looking at what was going on. We just slowly accelerated, and I'm looking down, and we're doing a 105 because that's what it was set to last. And I'm like, okay, 105 on I-15 at like Sunday at like on a 3 o'clock. Okay, Audi. Like, yeah, no, I totally get that. Like, yeah. Well, I mean, like, so when I had that RS7, I had the car for like 24 hours. So I was actually able to take it home and park it, and then I delivered it to the owner the next day, like at his work or something. Like I took it from his house and then I delivered it to his work like the following day. But I was driving, I think it was up to Park City, and there was a semi truck pulling 2 trailers, and I was following behind him going 65. And I'm like, I want to pass him. I want to see how fast I can pass him at. And I pass him, and by the time the rear end of the Audi meets up with the front end of the truck, I was doing 100.
Yeah, no, it's crazy what high-powered Audis can do. Yeah,
it's insane.
But yeah, no, I think those were all really good answers. I will probably tell said female on a date at some point about this, how we use one of her questions as a topic on here, and then probably get mocked for it. So
you should then change your answer. You should change your answer and choose a classic 911, because that adds class and taste to your repertoire.
No, no. There's only one correct thing to change your answer to. That is the 1983 Chevrolet Chevette.
Okay.
It was right there. Come on, I had to take that thing yard.
It was good, guys.
Thank you, Mike.
Fucking hanging breaking ball. Of course I'm going to smash that thing into the parking lot.
That's what I appreciate about you, Mike.
Yep.
That's what I appreciate about you, Mike.
Oh, that's what you appreciate about me.
Yeah.
I want to go through some of the comments because Brandon Conky had a good one.
Oh, yes. Let's see. Lol, I scrolled back a little and heard the Supra talk. It's on a whole new level now. You guys need to ride in the thing. It's fucking absurd.
You have my fucking number.
I'm down.
Yeah.
I'm down. He knows how to talk to me.
I know where you live. I'm just going to show up and you're going to have to fucking deal with it.
He knows how to randomly pop into our GTA 5 lobby.
I mean, like, send me his address. I'll like go to work and like make a floral arrangement and like pull up to his doorstep. Be like, "Yo, dog,
damn,
what's good?"
Hey, Jamal. Glenn says Fiero. And so I just did a quick Googling of that yellow interior, and I believe I was mistaken. I believe it's not the full fucking, like, the fuck you yellow interior. It is just yellow black seats that were available on the S2000 CR.
You could get a full custom yellow interior. I'd let that fly.
Well,
I
I mean,
think-
custom is different than OEM.
Yeah, so I think at that point I would probably just get like some bright yellow like Corbos or something.
Ooh.
Yeah. You know, just some fucking wild but still kind of comfy seat.
Yeah.
So, yeah. But there we go.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
That's an hour. That we timed that almost fucking perfectly.
We really did. So there we go. Thank you, chat, for joining us. We appreciate it. We always appreciate you. So,
Is that what you appreciate about the chat?
I think they're hot. I just think they're hot. So
I think they're hot.
It's like running away.
Take about 20% off the top of that squirrely mic.
Hope you all had a good time on Valentine's.
Fuck.
Singles awareness day. Singles awareness day.
We're still going with the Letterkenny jokes.
Oh, is that a joke? I don't know that one.
Yeah.
Valentine's.
And breathix. Because Derry can't pronounce certain words.
Fucking dairy.
Wish you weren't so fucking awkward, bud. Let's see. Andrew Jolly says, I like the audio, but the star of the video is Mike for sure. I'm not sure if...
I didn't see
This is
that.
facts. This is
Yeah.
facts.
I'm not sure if he's like referring to me just like building Lego, like putting Lego Voltron together, or what. But I appreciate it. Thank you. I try to provide as good of a performance in audio and video.
Okay.
Yeah, man. So yeah, there we.
That was like such a weird anticlimactic ending.
Yeah, I mean, fuck what? I mean, listen, I spent a lot of time rearranging this fucking office, you know, for you people who watch. So
I'm proud of you.
thank you. Thank you. I had to get some stuff out of the basement, the Transformers poster, the We're on a Mission from Leia thing. I'll do a proper tour of this. And the Kremer 935 print from 8130 Labs. So, yeah.
Well,
Okay.
once our lighting situation gets better, I'll be more down for a video. But
There we
my
go.
lighting is it's kind of dingy right now, and it's also still winter, so it's dark out. But
Yeah.
You should see my lighting setup. It's my TV right there with a white background.
Man.
yes, it is. Yes, it is, Zach.
And fucking how. On that note, I think it is an excellent time to end. Gavin, thank you for joining us. Where can the people go follow you for your cheeky shenanigans?
Well, first of all, thank you for sending me that unsolicited link today. I actually really appreciate that.
You're welcome.
Yeah, you can go find our Exhibition of Speed on YouTube. Make sure to go ahead and subscribe. We have our most recent video featuring the 4.2 V8 Audis. It's a bit of a doozy. It's an hour and 45-minute long video, but we have chapter markers, so you can feel free to jump in between cars as much as you like. And yeah, we posted that January 1st, and kind of the way that we're kind of doing things this year is we're doing a handful of those, like 2 to 3 of them, honestly, per year. But they take 3 or 4 months to do. So that will kind of take up our entire year. But yeah, if you want to go see some fun car reviews, go follow Exhibition of Speed on YouTube. If you want to see my photos, if you want to shoot me a message and book a photo shoot with me, hit me up, gp.media on the Instagram. And that's really all that I have that's worth promoting. Really, I got enough friends on Facebook. Go follow my Instagram.
There we go.
Go see what's up.
Follow him on Instagram. Find him on YouTube.
Yes.
All that fun stuff. Zach?
Thank you, Mike.
Hey, you're welcome. Zach, where can people find you? Nowhere.
I think I'm just sticking with promoting my film or my photo, not film, photo Instagram. So go follow me at Zach Lord 35mm. I post photos of film. I have, where the fuck are they? They're over here. I can reach them. I have a whole bunch of film 6x9 format or a film I need to scan and post at some point in my life. I'll do that before I die. But yeah, check it out. Check me out there. Zach Lord 35mm Instagram.
Nice. Find me at Nerding for Beginners, which you can see if you're watching on the old YouTube. We are on Instagram, Facebook, and now TikTok. New podcast with the D&D playthrough every Wednesday. We brought AJ on board. It is a good time. Also, check out The Bowl is Too Small on Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, and YouTube. This weekend, I posted a fun 3-course meal that you could whip up for not just Valentine's Day, anytime, you either need to eat a lot of carbs and take care of those pesky feelings, or if, you've got somebody that you kind of want to impress with shockingly easy cooking skills. So it's a very impressive looking dish. The bar is fairly low as far as skill is concerned. So
definitely have to check that out.
Oh yeah, it is, man. The
impressing somebody part for sure.
Oh yeah, first video filmed here at the old homestead in a while. So check all that out. And we will be back next week for another episode. Check out this podcast wherever you get your podcasts. Like, rate, review, subscribe, share it with your friends. Get some crappy Bluetooth speakers off of Wish and just yeet those into people's cars with the windows down. Force them to listen. Whatever. Everybody needs a little rudderless ship action in their life, and here we are. So
captains, as it were.
Yes. Episode. Oh, all right. Well. For episode whatever the hell this is of Cam Shenanigans, I've been Mike.
I've been Zach, and Gavin was here.
Gavin was here, but it's okay. We got Lego Voltron.
Okay, bye.
Okay, bye.
What happened to Gavin?
I don't know.